what is going on. This is our second episode
Yes.
of the book club.
It's a funny concept, the book
Yeah.
club. You know, it's like some people are gonna tune in and be like, "Oh, what book are they reading?" Like, bitch, we ain't reading no books. All
Yeah.
right.
Um. So yeah, so we're getting into these movies and TV shows and stuff like that. We're gonna have some really interesting ones coming up. So our first episode was Black Rabbit, Netflix, on a Netflix series. Definitely check that show out. It was a really good show.
I've
Check out our
recommended
review.
it actually to a couple of people this week
Yeah,
alone.
nice.
There's people have hit me up and it was like, "Yo, I need something to watch." I'm like, instantly instantly watch Black
Yes.
Rabbit.
The debut of that episode will be coming out next week. Mike told me he just edited it and stuff like that, so it's coming soon.
Shouts out to Louis Beans.
Yes, our producer, Red Cyclone Inc., and my Louis Beans, my partner on the Wrestling Babble, and the Gets Bad I Swear. We are about to finish our comic book theater. We are on our last movie
You guys
of the
been doing
comic
that for
theater.
how long?
We started it at COVID.
Yeah, 2020, right?
We did 1978 to now. Every single superhero comic movie throughout. The first one is Superman.
And I can only imagine. No, they had to. Oh, well, the original, like black and white Superman.
No, there were movies. There were TV shows.
I wasn't there.
The George Reeves were TV shows.
But what about like the black and white Batman? There was
TV shows.
That was a TV show.
Yeah.
I could have swore that was a movie.
The TV shows.
What about the '66 Batman?
That's we had that and this is in there.
Because like I would, because Superman came out 78.
The thing with the Batman '66, it was not a theatrical movie.
Okay, yeah.
So it had to be
like
a theatrical
made for TV kind of movie.
I love that movie.
Oh, and I say we watch that one of these days, but
so yeah, we Guess Better Rare podcast. We've been doing comic book theater, so this one is gonna be similar to like movie reviews, but it's gonna be a TV movie, and we're gonna have different ways of picking movies and stuff like that down the road. But right now, we're kind of giving our feel of things that we probably have not watched and that I would like him to check out, or he will like me to check out, and that's how we're gonna go back and forth.
And also things that are relevant of today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you just recently watched The Rip.
Yes.
And I keep hearing people talk about The Rip, which I will go into watch.
Yes.
And we will go into a cast of that.
And that is a future cast.
Yeah, we will eventually, like you just watched The Smashing Machine with The Rock. You know what I mean? Which is something that I've wanted to watch. I just never had like the urge to ever press play on.
Yes.
But now this gives us a reason to go in, watch the movies that we grew up watching, watch the movies that people actually recommend, and I'm always like, don't worry, I'll put it on the list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Finally, we can relinquish that list.
Yeah, I have a list. I have a big ass list.
So it's like, there's no ceiling, there's no cap to where it is, and also, anybody that's out there listening, have any suggestions, we have no problem diving down into it as well.
That's something I would want to do down the road once we have like get comments and votes and stuff like that. Then I'll have like comments and votes to certain movies that we watch and stuff like that. So that's down the road and everything like that. So this is a new cast, so we got to get that going.
Yeah.
But yeah, movies, TVs are pretty much a big stepping stone in our lives.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's everybody's. I mean, they design television stations off of families sitting at home on certain days.
Yes.
You know, like Monday night is a primetime night. Thursday night is a primetime night.
Yeah.
Those, in order to get those TV slots alone, those have to be like really, really heavily watched television shows because those are the days that people are home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now us being in a kind of a time where kind of movie theaters are like flickering on the lines of kind of fading out, even though I will always prefer a movie theater over anything. We have those streaming options.
Yeah.
Where you don't have to go to the movie theaters. You can actually pay to watch it at home.
Yes.
You know what I mean? In the safety of your own home, depending on whatever the situation it is in your life, do it up. You know what I mean? But this is going to be a cast of anything and everything.
Yes.
And it's something that I've always wanted to do with you. We have been podcasting for 12 years.
Yes.
We've always had a themed podcast. You know, if you guys are not familiar with us, we have the Shell Shock. We have the Morphin Cast. We have the Not a Trekkie podcast. We have, the years that we did the Game of Rage podcast,
Yes.
and now here we are together, where this is not a themed thing. This
Yeah.
could be anything. I can have you watch what we were just talking about before we went on air, of like what was the worst movie I've ever seen, which is like Harold the Mord. Like
Oh
I
god.
would love to make you watch that movie to feel my personal anguish towards it.
I've seen it. I've seen it. I think I've seen it in high school, and they
Yeah,
made us watch it.
it's part of the curriculum. I don't know if it's everywhere, but in my high school, Mr. Hegerness, that was my English teacher. He made us watch that movie because he thought it was one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah.
And he also made me a Led Zeppelin fan too.
Alright.
That's neither
So
here
at
nor
least
there.
he at least gave you
He
that.
gave me something.
He gave you that shitty movie, but he gave you this
And
too.
he made me read Hamlet as well, but
Hamlet's good.
and still to this day, I don't think I actually finished it.
Hamlet's good.
But this ain't the book.
Hamlet's good.
This ain't an actual
Yeah.
book club. You put the Hamlet on, which Hamlet is a movie.
It's quite a few.
Yes, but I think the one that resonates the most. Do you remember Mary Shelley's Frankenstein?
Yeah.
Or I know you're not the biggest Harry Potter fan in the world, but the wizard that was in he's a famous English actor, but that's the only Hamlet that I would ever
Yeah.
watch is with him. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. He was Doctor
Oh,
Frankenstein.
you talking
He's
Gary Oldman?
No,
No.
no. He's Sirius Black. I'm gonna pull it up on IMDb, which is the perfect thing to do on a cast like
Are you
this.
talking about the original one or the?
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
It was a TV movie. But yeah,
With
IMDb's
Anthony Hopkins?
no,
Oh,
no.
Nicole Williamson.
Shelley's Frankenstein. Robert De Niro. It's this dude right here. Kenneth Branagh.
Okay.
You've seen him in a billion things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yes, I know.
You've seen him in a billion things. But yeah, I forgot why we were talking about him, but
Oh yeah, you're talking
that
about
would be
Hamlet.
he played Hamlet, and that would probably be the only one that I would want to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's probably 30 renditions of that, 30 renditions of Christmas Carol, 30 renditions of this, 30. You know what I mean? It's like we got to pick and choose the battles.
Yeah,
You know
because
what
I
I mean?
remember Mel Gibson did one too, and that was not that great.
Mel Gibson is somebody else.
yeah,
I'm not the biggest fan of Mel Gibson nowadays, but growing up, he was an icon. So
Lethal Weapon. That's about it.
no,
I'll give him a
you never
little
seen
bit.
Forever Young?
I did see Forever.
Forever Young is an amazing movie, and that's early Elijah Wood.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I still to this day, speaking of Elijah Wood, I still to this day can't grip over the fact that he's old. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen him in a million movies nowadays. Frodo, he's this, he's that, but he was always that little kid in Forever Young to me.
Yeah.
And the Good Son.
Yes.
Which R.I.P. to what you call it, Catherine O'Hara.
Yes.
She just passed away yesterday.
That was sad.
Yeah.
Sad to see.
She was a great actress. A lot of people don't know actually her name.
Yeah.
But they know her face, and as soon as you mention Home Alone
or Beetlejuice,
you know
exactly
you know what I mean? Like those are kind of like the staples, and Schitt's Creek.
Schitt's Creek, yeah.
You know what I mean? But she's been in a lot of things. She actually was.
She was just in the Beetlejuice too.
Yeah, Beetlejuice. But she was actually a comedian with what you call it, the Levy dude, not Sean Levy. No, yeah, Sean Levy.
Sean Levy.
Yeah, so they were part of a comedic group back in the day.
Okay.
Which a lot of the staple of the comedy of the 80s and the 90s, like Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, they all came from these pockets of like improv.
Yeah.
And she was actually part of that with him. Eugene Levy.
Eugene Levy.
Levy. But R.I.P. to her. 71 years young. Thank you for leaving your son at home. But, granted, it's actually a story about what a mother would do to get back to her son.
Yeah.
She did whatever she possibly could, but she also did it twice.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
she did it twice.
You know what I mean?
You don't do that shit twice.
So... that's
The
neither here
first
or
one
there.
you should learn. The first time you should learn. Where the fuck is this kid? If I don't see this kid.
I definitely would say that I'm more of a movie person than I am a television person. I feel
Yeah.
like TVs. I don't know. My mother used to have this big like VHS tape collection,
Yeah.
and I would span through it. I can remember almost every VHS tape that we had. Like I was watching adult movies at a certain age. Like I don't recommend kids these days to be watching the movies that
Yeah.
we did, but it's a different generation. The 90s was a different times, you know what I mean? I'm sitting there watching The Firm. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm watching Executive Decision. I'm watching Indecent Proposal. I'm watching like movies like that. You know what I mean? But
That
it
was a different time.
yeah, like I don't recommend kids to be watching adult movies. Don't get me wrong, it's like I don't think nowadays watching like Nightmare on Elm Street would scare a kid nowadays,
You'd be surprised.
or like the original like Friday the 13th. Like I feel like that's kind of dated for them.
I will say the reason why I will say you'd be surprised because the music what the music in the movies is what
It's
kind
haunting.
of is
It is
haunting.
haunting.
So I think that you still get scared to this day, and I don't think kids are seeing anything like that nowadays. So I think they still get creeped out by it.
We were force fed that shit growing up,
Yeah, I
man. You know
grew up
what I mean?
watching it. Yeah, I will say I'm a bigger movie person than TV person. I started getting more into TV shows as like FX with like
Sons of
Rescue
Anarchy.
Me, Sons
Oh,
of
shouts
Anarchy,
out to Rescue Me, man.
yeah,
One of the best TV shows
stuff like
ever.
that. And that's not even watching it live on TV. Is when the DVDs started coming out and the box sets started
Yeah,
coming
so you
out.
can binge watch it.
That's when I started really
Yeah.
getting it. I think my first box set was The Simpsons, the first season of The Simpsons, and I went through every single Simpsons shit
Well,
throughout the
us
years.
us growing up in the '90s, we grew up with like TGI Friday.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We grew up with like Family
TGIF.
Matters.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We grew up with Full House. We grew up with, and from a person like you grew up in Manhattan.
yeah,
I grew up on Long Island.
yeah,
But what was shown to us on TV, I can guarantee you anything I named that you watched. It's like The Wonder Years.
yeah,
The Wonder Years is probably my favorite TV show of all time.
yeah,
It doesn't really hold up as well. I watched it not too long ago, and you really realize that Kevin Arnold was an asshole.
yeah. It's the same thing like Saved by the Bell. Like
Yeah,
they don't hold up.
Zach Morris
It's a
came
douchebag.
off cool.
It's a douchebag.
There's an entire fucking thing
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Facebook. Zach Morris is trash.
I think I sent you that.
Yeah, no,
the
I've
videos.
seen it many times. You know
Yeah,
what I
they're
mean? It's
funny.
like certain things don't age too well.
Yeah.
And shouts out to Mark
Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Paul Gosselaar. Yeah, like he condemns
Yeah.
people watching that show. He doesn't like to be labeled as that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with actors like Jaleel White, him, you know what I mean? Like they are always remembered for those roles.
Yeah.
Like when's the last time you saw Fred Savage in something and it wasn't like, hey, that's Kevin Arnold? Or saw Jaleel White, which we on the
He always
Morphin
be.
Cast
Yeah.
just watched. What was it?
Acolytes.
No,
No,
before.
no. Skeleton Crew.
Yeah,
He was in
Skeleton
there.
Crew.
Yeah.
Jaleel White was in that, but you're like, that's Steve Urkel.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that pops in your head.
Steve Urkel is Sonic.
Yeah, well,
He's the voice of Sonic.
but he's Steve
Yeah,
Urkel.
Yeah,
know
he always be Steve
you,
Urkel.
you can be the voice of something, but you're visually.
But my thing is that I always pick one of the worst roles, and that's what I remember them for.
Well, Steve Urkel made his career. That's the reason
Yeah.
why he's a person. Kevin Arnold, the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, he had the movie not Explorers.
Wizard.
The Wizard. He had Little Monsters.
I like
he
the
had,
Little Monsters.
his brother was
Ben
in Little
Savage,
Monsters.
yeah.
Ben Savage, and he's known for fucking Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing, anything else. Even though he does have an acting career afterwards.
Not a lot though.
Oh
He
no,
was not a lot of
definitely
stuff,
not.
yeah. I think the last
pretty
thing.
sure he's bald nowadays.
I think
too.
the last thing I saw. Yeah, I think he's in politics now. But
He's in Girls Meets World. That was like
yeah,
I
yeah.
think the
But
last
I
thing.
think he's legit in politics now.
Oh.
But I think Ben Savage before Girl Meets World. I think last thing I saw him was in Chuck.
Yeah, he was like in an episode.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I actually,
yeah,
it's funny they say
yeah,
that because I actually remember that.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like one episode.
Yeah,
and
it was one episode.
He was in a restaurant sitting at a table.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I remember it specifically.
He was one of the analysts that he scanned and shit.
But We all know that
But I
our
have
generation is completely different
yeah,
than
because that's
nowadays.
usually you had Blockbuster Night, you had renting videos, going to the video store, renting movies, picking movies that you never seen before just because it had a crazy ass fucking cover. And then I also have a history of working in video stores. I worked in a Blockbuster. I managed a Blockbuster. I worked in a neighborhood video store. So
He
my
was a local legend.
yeah. So like
you
my
needed a poster,
yeah
you could order it through him through Blockbuster.
man like I think most people know me in my neighborhood because I worked in the fucking video stores, and I hate it, but they all know me because of that. But yeah, I have a history of just collecting movies. Like I have thousands of movies in my house. Like you might not see it now, but they're all in binders.
Yeah.
And
I have a binder of everything in alphabetical order
yeah,
because before Blu-rays came out, actually as Blu-rays
and
started,
Blu-rays I grabbed too.
as Blu-rays started to become popular, you go to places like GameStop. GameStop would have like an
Yeah,
incredible list, like a catalog of movies that you could buy, and then it's like, yo, you buy a certain amount and you get like, I remember it's like you spent $40, you got 10 movies free
yeah,
afterwards. You know, like I established a hell of a catalog that now is completely obsolete.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like DVDs is out. DVD
yeah.
is literally
Now it's Blu-ray. Like Blu-ray is the main
DVD
or
is
HD Blu-ray.
VHS now.
Yeah,
You know
pretty
what I
much.
mean? 100%. And it's sad because it's like VHSs nowadays they still last. They were built to last. DVDs aren't.
No, if you get
DVDs
one scratch, you fuck.
and now everything's streaming.
Yeah,
You bring a DVD. I think the only discs kids would know today is video games.
yeah, yeah. And
They're
it's
not
sad.
like don't like let me get Bluey's DVD set. Like no,
No.
you're streaming that shit. You know,
Yeah.
it's less clutter.
Yeah. Yeah, it came to a point that's like less clutter. But yes, history of movies. I've always been a movie buff. I always was renting movies, and my mom was a big movie buff. Again, like how you said, like you're watching these adult movies. My mom took me to see Lethal Weapon 1 when I was like 6 years old
That's awesome.
because she wanted to see it.
That's awesome.
She said, like, if you see anything that's not, like, close your eyes. And that was it. So I watched it.
Man, I remember
Yeah.
my brother's father and my mother. Well, it was mostly my brother's father, but
Yeah.
got the VHS tape striptease
Yeah.
from
I remember
Blockbuster,
that. Yeah.
right? Demi Moore, you know, she's a stripper in a movie, da da da. I'm sitting there because it's family night to watch a movie, and it's fucking striptease, and they're like, close your eyes
Yeah.
during the scene.
No.
You know what I mean? It's like, why would I do that for?
Oh man, they had that lady.
But then again, you know, with our generation, it's like you would fall asleep on the couch and wake up and Tales from the Crypt was on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like there was really no filter in telling parents that they're bad parents for like
Yeah.
introducing kids to this kind of
I,
stuff.
I I would say I give credit to my mother. My mother was like, you know, it's fake, right? You know, it's acting. Okay, you know that. All right, that's it.
Like I don't I don't I'm not I haven't like me and
Yeah.
my father, my
Yeah.
biological father, who I, you know, don't want to really dive into all that. But when we were together,
Yeah.
like it was us sitting on the edge of the bed, and this is when Pathmark had a video store.
Yeah. I remember.
You know, like supermarkets used to have video stores inside where if you were a member of Pathmark or ShopRite or this, you were able to rent VHS tapes.
Yeah.
And I would go over my grandmother. She was a handicap. She was a handicapped woman. Would always send me over. Always phone ahead, like, "Hey, my nephew, my grandson's coming," and we would rent some real adult ass movies. Like I remember watching Fear
Yeah.
with Mark Wahlberg
Yeah.
on VHS tape. You know what I mean? Yes. Yes. If you know what that means, you know what that means. But there was like
Yeah.
I just remember it was always it was never anything kiddie.
Yeah.
It was nothing like that. It was movies like Poison Ivy with
Oh,
like you know with Drew Barrymore and
the second one. Oh,
with
Alicia
Jamie
No,
Presley. Jamie Presley was in the second one.
no, it was Alicia Milano.
Oh yeah, and Jamie Presley. All three of those movies. No, maybe not the first one. Well, and
What
like
was it?
movies like The
What was the other
Crush,
one? Embrace of the Vampire.
with Alyssa Milano. Yeah, yeah. I don't want to talk too much about Alyssa Milano, even though my car is named Margot
Yeah.
off of her character in the movie Fear.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks it's Margot Robbie, but no, it's Margot
Yeah. Yeah.
from Fear, which
Yeah.
I was one of the. Now we were growing up watching her in Who's the Boss.
Who's the boss and
That was it. Like I
Double
remember her.
Dragon.
Well, yes, but that was the same time frame.
One of the better. No, she was
She was one of the only
later.
few women at that time that pulled off the short hair look and
Yeah.
just looked really good. But then again, she had other features
Yeah.
that I was kind of looking at.
Yeah,
So
there.
I don't want to really
Moving
talk
on.
too much about her because
Like that.
she was a prime member of that Me Too movement,
Yeah.
and I don't want to disrespect her like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You are a person.
Yes.
Thank you for your contributions to pop culture.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And that scene from Double Dragon.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Going
Probably
through the
the
tunnel. going
probably
through the
the only good
going through
thing
the
in
tube.
that movie.
I know exactly what you're talking
Because
about.
Abobo was terrible.
Going through the tube.
Abobo.
You know what I mean? And they
Yeah.
fought over who was going next.
Yes.
How did I know that was that scene? Because I've seen it a million times.
Anyway. So yes, we both have a lot of history of movies, and honestly, we're just gonna bring this to the cast. But beyond that, let's get into our review of it'll be for Welcome to Derry.
Yes, this is what's bringing us here today.
Yes.
Is this carnation of a further longed it universe,
Okay.
which I was actually surprised that it even came out to begin with because the what his name's Bill Skarsgård, right?
Yeah.
All right, so Bill Skarsgård's It movies, the first one was great. The second one was like, it's pretty bad.
Still
But
made its money though.
yes, no, yeah, well, because I think that was
Because
the
the
success
popularity,
off the
yeah,
first
yeah,
movie, and growing up, the original It with Tim Curry was probably one of the most worn out double VHS tapes that I had in my catalog
yeah.
of VHS tapes. The Tim Curry It with me, I watched it live when it first aired on. It was like A&E or
ABC.
or AB. No, it wasn't ABC. It
No,
was
it
like
was ABC.
it was
Channel 7.
it was. I'm pretty sure it was A&E or something. Me and my cousin Keith
Yeah.
watched it when it first aired, and we were at my grandparents' house. We watched the first one, not
Yeah.
the second one.
The original It miniseries aired on ABC as a two-part television movie, November 18th and November 20th of 1990.
We watched the first one together
Yeah.
at my grandparents' house. It was just us. We built a tent in the living room.
Nice.
I've seen if you were a kid in the 90s, you were building tents left and right. You know what I mean? And all you needed was a sheet,
Yeah.
and you were good to go. But, so like, shouts out to my brother. Me and my brother were big fans of this, and we went to go see the movie together. And the first It movie was
Yeah.
awesome. The second It movie, it was atrocious. I'm sorry. The second It movie was horrible.
Yeah.
But my brother actually at that time just read the book,
Okay.
and he said that it was more kind of down the lines of what the book was.
Yeah, yeah. They was trying to go more towards that, and that's what I didn't like the second movie either. I liked the actors they picked for the most part, but I did not. I wasn't caring for that second movie.
Yeah, the Eddie, the guy who played Eddie Spaghetti, recently
Yeah.
passed away. R.I.P. to him.
Yeah.
Um,
Let me just run down the synopsis and we get into the show. So it Welcome to Derry aired this year. This TV in May. Started in October 26, 2025. HBO Max. If you have HBO Max, you can still watch it to this day. They're not paying me, so I'm not going to tell you to go.
yeah.
Their synopsis of the show is in 1962, a couple with their son moved to Derry, Maine, just as a young boy disappears. With the arrival, very bad things begin to happen in the town. That's pretty much the synopsis. It doesn't really state or showcase anything of the show, but
I mean, that's
the
that.
basics stuff.
we're gonna give you a nice little rundown
Yeah.
of what happened in the show. We'll try not to spoil too much because it is a recent show.
Yeah.
Um, but there was a lot of tie-ins to different universes
Yeah.
that definitely need a nod. There's you can go to YouTube right now and there's constant videos of shouts out to the pups. The pups love it as well.
Yeah.
Many Easter eggs that tie in the Stephen King universe.
All right. So I'm just gonna go to the top bill actors, shout them out because we watched the whole series and they should get shouted out. So we have Javon Epo as Leroy Henlon. We have Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. We have Taylor Page as Charlotte Hannon. We have Stephen Ryder as Hank Gordon. We have Matilda Lawyer as Margaret Truman. We have Amanda Christie as Ronnie. We have Clara as Lily, Sachs as Lily. We have Blake Cameron James as William, as Will, and Arya S. Carta as Rich. R.P. Rich.
Oh,
Chris Chalk as Dick Harlan, and James Rammer as the General. Um,
which is an icon in
yes.
himself. I was actually shocked that he was even in the show.
Yeah. So that's pretty much for the most part the main people in the thing. They do have other people that show up in the show, but those are the main
I can say not really heavy mainstream actors except for the guy who played the general.
Yes.
Who's in a million things since the beginning of.
He was Dexter's daddy.
He was Dexter's dad. He was in Warriors. He was in.
Wasn't he in that show with No, that's another guy.
He was in Sex and the City. Demolition Man. He's in everything. 48 Hours.
No, I get him. He looks like another actor, and I get him confused with the other actor. I thought is he in Unhappy Ever After?
I've never seen that.
That's the one with Nikki Cox.
Never seen it.
With the puppet, the rabbit puppet.
Never seen it.
It was a WB TV.
I don't
show.
think it was him. No, I don't think he did too much television.
Yeah.
He literally's got his thumb in like everything.
Yeah, I know he's in a lot of things though, because
that man's catalog is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah. So if you all have seen the recent It movies, this takes place 28 years before that.
Yes.
So if anybody knows the lore and the history of it, unfortunately for the miniseries, from the Tim Curry one, some of the information got it was lost in translation. In that one, it's 30 years, but in the book, it's every 28 years. It is this kind of creature that's from this void that came down and crashed down, and it kind of just feeds off of people's fear. And one thing that I didn't expect from seeing this show is actually you got to see how he. I always thought he just came down and he chose to be the clown. He actually molded himself off of the look of this person named Pennywise the Dancing Clown, which is absolutely genius. And I thought that was one of the best episodes of the show.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool
because we never got how did he know to become a clown?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And for a majority of this series, you didn't even see him as the clown.
Yeah.
You only saw him as messing with people.
Yeah.
And building fear because he is a creature that feeds off of people's fears.
Yes.
He wants them to go basically on the brink of being insane before he consumes them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was in Warriors. That's where he's in.
Warriors, yeah. That was one of the original things that he was. But he was also in 48 Hours as well.
Yeah. That one of the main things that Warriors is one of the biggest ones. I think one of his biggest roles was Warriors.
Yeah. But the show is kind of based around so Mike what's Mike's name? I don't have anything pulled up. I'm slacking over here.
The kid?
Yeah. Mike Hammond.
Yeah.
So Mike Hammond is from the 80s.
Yeah.
This is about his grandfather.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So they are a family, a military family that gets moved to this town.
Yeah.
He doesn't know why he's technically there, but he's linked up with um, this one person who is a tie-in to one of my favorite Stephen King movies ever, which is The Shining, which
Yes.
is what's his face? Hold on, let me pull up. I gotta go to IMDb. I'm messing this up right now.
That is. I just had him here. Chris Clark. Dick Harlan.
Yeah, Dick Halloran.
Halloran. Yeah.
So he's this military guy that he's just not afraid of anything. So he gets sent there to try to excavate this area. He has no clue what's going on. All that we know is that this town, something always happens within this town throughout the years.
Yes.
And that's kind of been an ongoing thing since the incarnation of the It movies and book, is that it all pertains to this town.
Yes. Stupid town.
Yes, stupid fucking town. You know what I mean? one thing that with Dick Halloran and stuff like that, it really starts blending in a multiverse of Stephen King. It's like I never thought of Stephen King movies all blending in, like like Avengers and everything like that. All these separate stories have separate tie-ins, but it kind of makes sense. Like Stephen King being this guy who writes books constantly. Like, why wouldn't you put Easter eggs in and tie in so many different things? Like, it makes more sense now than when I was growing up. Like, thinking about it, you know what I mean? It's like this is the first thing that solidifies anything like concrete Easter egg. Like, this is full blown blending Stephen King universes.
Yeah.
Dick Halloran is from The Shining. He's the chef that tells Danny that he shines. That's what his gift is, and to worry about the Overlook Hotel. This is him as a young man.
Yeah.
In a military being used to manipulate people's minds and find where things are. Like that whole segment with him is crazy.
Yeah. So we're gonna go through this, the episodes and everything like that. We're gonna go like just pretty much talking about the show and explaining the whole Stephen King stuff and the lore of the side of the books that came out and things like that. Because I heard, I did watch this with Jackie. Shout outs to Jackie. And she pretty much told me the lore of the other Stephen King stuff. Because again, I will tell you, I have probably read maybe one or two Stephen King books. I have watched a lot of his movies more than I have watched the books. So I have watched like Maximum Velocity. I watched Pet Cemetery. I watched The Shining. But The Shining is a whole different thing than the book itself. I watched Doctor Sleep. I watched most of those like Misery and other ones that came out and whatnot. But I'm not too keen on. And I read The Dark Tower, which was made into a comic and shit.
I've only read a couple of his books. Like I've read The Shining.
Yeah.
Shining's my favorite horror movie of all time.
Yeah.
And I can understand why he doesn't like the movie, because the movie's better than his fucking book.
Yeah.
It 100% is. Pet Cemetery I own Carrie. I read Gerald's Game, which actually I read that as a young kid and I shouldn't have. Tommy Knockers, stuff like that, and I don't know where I was going.
Yeah. So I was just explaining that the things that I know from Stephen King and stuff like that. I know one thing that this movie connects to is Dark Tower. I know he is a being from the Dark Tower.
See, I don't know anything about Dark Tower.
Dark Tower is good.
I've never even seen the movie.
So Dark Tower, they have a really good comic book. Marvel, I think, published it with with a co-writing of Stephen King and a couple other people and stuff like that. They actually have a really good graphic novel of it. You should definitely read that. Check it out. That's my knowledge.
Isn't it like 5 books?
Yeah.
It's like it's a long series.
Yeah,
It's not like it's a
it's
one
like
and done.
Thick. It's like a trade paperback, but like 5 books.
I mean, I would read it if it's in one book. I'm not reading.
I think it's on the Marvel app.
Okay.
Because it's a Marvel. I think Marvel published it.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
But I know a lot from that. So I know some of the beasts, some of the monsters or whatever, like demons or whatnot, came from that tower, and the way Jackie explained it and stuff like that. She explained it a lot better than I'm explaining it now. But I know a lot of it connects to that, and a lot of the villains or whatever, the monsters, whatever, throughout the movies and stuff like that came from that Dark Tower, and they actually kind of explain a lot of that stories with that. But beyond this,
Well, in the universe of
yeah,
Stephen
in that
King.
universe, yeah,
Yeah, not in specifically in
yeah, yeah,
it,
yeah,
because it's being ran by him, and he kind of knows how to ploy on
yeah,
people's
yeah.
fears.
So, but he's a one of the demons from the Dark Towers, and that's how I know the connection
Yes,
of
he's
that.
part of the Void,
Yeah, yeah,
which that's where the mist came from.
yes.
They're all from the
It was
same.
a monster fart.
Yeah, basically. Just don't toy with things that you don't know. How about that?
Just don't touch shit.
Yeah, just don't be so. You know what curiosity did? Okay, it killed the cat. but
And then you get Pet Cemetery.
well, yeah, I was actually just watching before we did all this. I did watch a lot of the tie-ins. Like Stephen King makes it a point to tie in a lot of his stuff. Where in it we had the talk of Shawshank.
Yeah.
But Shawshank Redemption, if you haven't seen that movie, get your head out of your ass. It's arguably the greatest movie of all time.
Out of your ass.
Yeah, but arguably
It's a great movie.
it's a cinematic masterpiece. You know what I mean? It ties in that. It ties in The Shining. It ties in The Dark Tower. It ties in Misery. Because the next door neighbor
Yeah.
of the girl who cuts her eye off in this show, which we're gonna dive down more into the show and the
Yeah.
kids and everything like that. But she was next door neighbors with the guy James Caan in Misery.
Yeah.
He lived in that town. It's like the Easter eggs is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy, and I hope that they tie it like they do more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stephen King kind of deserves it. I think he's put enough work in, so like people can actually make good things because he has a habit of making great books with shitty endings.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's what his legacy should be.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So let's get into the show. Get more in depth in the show. I'll run through the episodes, and I will say you have more of a say than I do with a lot of these things. So I'll let you describe what happened in it, and then go from there. I'll go from the synopsis, and you go from your point.
Yeah. You read this,
All right.
and I'll give you my
So
point of view
the
on it.
pilot, 4 months after a classmate vanishes, Teddy, Phil, Lily, and Ronnie investigate missing children and the strange events in Derry. Major Leroy Hallen
Halloran.
faces Halloran
Halloran.
Halloran
Halloran.
Hallen
Hanlon.
Hanlon
A
because there's no R. Hanlon.
Halloran is the other guy.
Yeah, the other guy
Yeah.
face a cold welcome from the Derry Air Force Base.
Yeah. So first and foremost, the first episode I watched like 3 times. I had to before I continued because it was super graphic.
Yeah.
It was this little kid, and it's like he gets picked up by these people. It's like I'm now being the skeptical person that I am because I've watched it and everything. I'm like, all right, so how's this first episode starting? It starts off with it fucking with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he gets picked up by this family because he's running away because he'd rather run away and live out on the streets than be with his father.
Yeah.
And he goes in with this family that starts off normal, and a typical it sense starts going really left.
Oh yeah.
To the point that the mother gives birth to a demon baby in the front fucking
That
seat.
should have me laughing.
So for me, I was like, oh shit, that's cool. But I'm like, was that necessary? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you don't. The best part about Pennywise is that he haunts your fears. You know what I mean? It's like I can see with this kid that he has a problem with his father, there's a problem with his family.
Yeah.
So he hops in a car with a ever loving family
Yeah.
that's going on a trip. You know what I mean? And then it turns dramatically dark. I get it. It was great, but unnecessarily gory from the very beginning.
Yeah.
A lot of the it world is subtle craziness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't have to be that way, but don't get me wrong. It visually crazy nuts. Everybody's like, "Oh my god!" So the wow factor is there.
Yeah.
And then you have
Hooks you.
Yeah, the grandfather. You know, Mike Hannon's
Yeah.
grandfather coming and you get introduced
Yeah.
to that family.
Okay. Top two, which is top rated. The Thing in the Dark. Charlotte and Will navigate their new life in Derry. Ronnie worries about her father's fate. That's what they say.
Well, yeah, well because the kids get killed in the movie theater.
Yes.
It didn't describe shit.
Yeah.
That synopsis. So the local kids they go to this movie theater and they're watching a movie and then all of a sudden that kid that was in the first episode appears on the screen in typical it form.
Yes.
You know what I mean? This is how he lures them in. He gives you something familiar, like Mike, whatever the fuck his name was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I forget which he was haunting.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then this is when you start seeing more of the tie-ins to the newest It movies because you see the building of the statue
Yes.
of the lumberjack
Yeah.
and you see the field and like kind of like the Back to the Future scene when it's like people walking through the town. It's like
Yeah.
I always revert to Back to the Future because like that's
Yeah. Yeah.
the clock tower. Like
Yeah.
this was their clock tower area. You know what I mean? And then the one kid's questioning what you call it fuck my brain just went blank. The reality of
Yeah.
of what's going on, and then he was talking about how the military base, because now all of a sudden there's so much more military personnel going through the city
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and he's like, yeah, they're cloning this, they're doing this, they're doing that. Has a dramatic scene, and then all of a sudden that fucking baby that was fucking born in that fucking front seat
Yeah.
just murdered them all.
Yes, he did.
he killed
Yeah.
everybody, bro, except for the little black girl that was in the film room
Yeah. Yeah.
and that one girl. Everybody else, I thought those were going to be the main characters of the show.
No.
Little did I know they were going to get massacred
Yep.
immediately.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Which was it was a pretty good cool scene,
Yeah.
but that whole baby thing is stupid to me. It's not necessary. That's just me.
Episode 3. Now you see it. Saw orders Halloran's aerial search with Leroy and Polly after a disappointing find. Rose joins a tribal meeting about military in Derry. Why Ronnie's group tries to photography and Oxra. Oxra? Oxra.
I don't know.
Orixa. Oxra.
Well, this is when we start realizing that the military's aware
Yeah.
of what's going on in this town because it only happens in this town.
Yeah.
And one of the main things that has happened throughout like and any rendition of it is that the town folk know about it,
Yeah.
but they won't ever acknowledge it because they're scared of it. But they still live in a fucking town for some reason. Makes no sense to me. It's like there's this murderous thing, but as long as we play our part, it'll eventually go away and we'll have peace for like 20 something
And that was
years.
something in the beginning. To not to cut you off, in the beginning, the kid was trying to get out of Derry, and then the people lined up driving him back into Derry.
Yeah, but that's kind of like an ongoing
Yeah,
theme
yeah,
where you can't get out.
yeah.
Like once you're in it, you're in it.
That you
You know what I mean? It's
stuck.
like in the original it's like the the wife I forget his fucking name. Oh, Jonathan Brandis played him. Oh man, Georgie, the Georgie's brother. Whatever.
I don't know.
But she came and somehow it knew about it. And
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like, oh, you're going to Derry? Oh yeah, you have to go over the bridge over
Yeah,
there
yeah.
where the kids used to play. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
But don't leave without your balloon. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it there's something very toxic with this town,
Yeah.
which at this moment in time we're not realizing. You know what I mean? And that it's starting to date back to the indigenous people
Yeah.
time where he's been there for a very long time. Now we're realizing that there's a military action to try to actually figure out what's going on
Yeah.
without telling us anything
Yeah.
at this moment in time.
Episode 4: The Great Swirling Apparatus of Our Planet's Function. That's a long ass name
Yeah,
for an
that's
episode. As a kid,
unnecessary.
as the kids face increasingly terrifying experiences, Charlotte attempts to advocate for Hank, and General Shaw escalates his efforts.
So what happened in the movie theater. The father of the little girl
Yeah.
just so happened to be black, and they're one of the only few black families in this.
A three.
Yeah, three in this whole town, and we're in a very very segregated time in America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the best way I can describe it without sounding like Jim Crow and all that crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but this is in the north, so it's like in Maine, so it's like it's weird for it to be. But
Yeah.
then again, civil rights is everywhere and it's been fought for forever. So
Yeah.
the people are assholes everywhere. It's neither here or there. But this is like things start increasingly getting bad, and the new family that moved in, the mother, she starts seeing things because she doesn't have that veil over her eyes just yet,
Yeah.
and she was an activist and a fighter where she was originally from.
Yeah.
Which you can't blame the woman. That she's fighting and standing up for her people, while also her husband is a military man and fighting for the people, the lives of everybody else. So
Yeah.
I understand it, but this one man is being accused of killing all those kids. You know what I mean? And he's on the run. They're all trying to lynch his ass, basically, metaphorically,
Yeah.
not in like an actual. And for lack of better words, I apologize for actually even using that word. But they're trying to publicly, castrate him as the person who did it, and at the same time, everything starts getting more active in the town with the kids and stuff like that. So
Yep.
it's tough to actually pinpoint what actually happens in the actual episode that you're talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
without like screwing something else up. So
Yeah. I got you. No, I think you did a pretty good job. Neil Boat Street. That's 29 Neil Boat Street. After discovering Saul's plans, uh, Leroy takes his family to the base as the Keepers plan to handle rising town's violence military forces' arrival on Neilboat Street. While the children enter the sewers with a mission. Dun dun dun.
all right, so we find out that the general. So we have a little backstory with the general. The
Yeah.
general was a little kid that grew up in this town,
Yes.
and he went out and he was hanging out with the indigenous people
Yes.
of the neighboring tribe, and he became friends with this little girl, and we find out that something crashed there
Yeah.
long ago, and the indigenous people were the ones that were the wielders and the protectors of this town, where this creature, they were told not to go into these woods. And anytime somebody would ever go in the woods, they would never come back, or have a story of something really dramatic.
Yeah.
But now we're getting the backstory of why the fucking general's there.
Yeah.
The general is there because he knows that there's something really demonic, supernatural, spiritual, whatever you want to describe it as, but he's trying to control it. He also we found out that Derry is a selected area that is protected by the ship. Not necessarily a ship, it was more like a meteor
Yeah.
that crashed, and the way that the indigenous people found out, because we found out the whole story of the woman leader, which
Yeah.
was very rare, might I add, for indigenous people. I can't say Indian because that's not politically
Yeah.
correct or even right to even say, but you find out the whole history, and they basically bunkered it into one pocketed area
Yeah.
by pieces of its ship, and it just so happened to be Derry.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like we're finding out now that Dick Halloran, he's part of it because he's psychic,
Yeah.
but not psychic in the sense of I can read, I can tell you the future. More of he is in tuned in the vibrations of the world, where he can read your mind and dive down into your psyche. And he, if you've seen The Shining, you can understand there's things metaphysical that you can't explain.
Yeah.
He's in tuned with it. So it's like this is where we start seeing Mike Halloran's um, grandfather's mission where he's finally getting tuned into everything. Like,
Yes.
bro, like, why didn't the fuck you tell me about this from the beginning?
Yeah.
Now he's all in because it's also affecting his son. It's
Yes.
affecting the town. It's affecting his wife. Everything's starting to boil over the melting pot. The fucking lid is open.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I advise everybody to watch these episodes so you can understand a little bit better
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because visually it's just
It's
better
it's
to watch it.
incredible.
Yeah.
It's really good. Now, don't get me wrong. Here and there's some real stupid things that happen in this
Yeah.
show that I'm like, why? You know what I mean? Like the whole cemetery scene, which I'm not sure what
Yeah.
episode it actually is. The whole cemetery scene is like it's stupid. It isn't.
Yeah.
But while all this military stuff is happening, everything is happening to these kids, which is it's the standard thing of it is picks its prey.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. In the name of the Father, plagued by increasingly dark visions, Dick learns the black spot is integral to Charlotte's plan. Meanwhile, Will faces his parents' disapproval. Marge stands up to the patty cakes, and Lily's mental state worsens.
Everything is is going bad.
This is when they show the why. This is where they show where he took over Pennywise.
It might be
Yeah.
because it ties in because that's her father,
Yeah, yeah,
the girl that
yeah, yeah,
so which this is I was more shocked that this episode even happened
yeah,
because up until this moment in time we had no fallback, no real reason why Pennywise chose to be a clown.
yeah,
we, I just always assumed that Pennywise he stalked the prey of kids. So clown just comes as a clown's been around for since fucking
yeah,
the Roman dynasty. You know
yeah,
what I mean? The Roman Empire. So it's like you choose a clown to lure the kids in
yeah,
to eventually ultimately eat them because
yeah,
that's what it's doing. He does a feeding.
yeah,
So this episode it shows that his avatar.
yeah,
I think that's the best way to
yeah, yeah.
describe it. His
Yeah, yeah,
avatar, because it showed up as that old crazy man
yeah, yeah,
in the stories of with the indigenous people. It was demonic animals,
yeah, yeah.
so it shows
It was a
forms.
demonic moose.
Yeah, it shows forms
Yeah,
that pertained to what he was dealing with. So he came to because what is it? It was a little kid that walked up to him. I'm getting chills thinking about
yeah,
it.
yeah,
It was a little kid that walking up to him like, "Oh, kids really like you, don't they?"
yeah,
And he was just a drunk, you know what I mean? And he was just a carny
yeah, yeah,
going from town to town, and then they fucking killed his ass.
yeah,
But we find out that he kept tying ties with his daughter,
yeah,
and she kind of played in the background of a lot of this, where we thinking that it's it, but it's actually her doing it,
yeah,
which is actually genius. It's actually really good writing. Like,
yeah,
it's all coming back to me now because I've only seen the show once.
yeah,
I wanted to rewatch it before this cast,
yeah,
but so just bear with me.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
For
you're doing
anybody
great.
that's listening. So
Hey, you're doing great. You remember more than I do, but I remember that
you
being
said you
clearly.
remember more than I
I
do.
remember being clearly because the guy that was the clown, I was looking at him. I was like, yeah, why he look like Jack Nicholson?
Well, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it was Bill
yeah, yeah.
Skarsgård,
But he kind
but
of had like Jack Nicholson's face in The Shining, which I thought it was probably possibly him, but
it could have been a tie-in
yeah,
to resemble that.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? So
So I thought that was interesting. The Black Spot, a valiant, a the valiant attack on the Black Spot unleashes long dormant forces. In the aftermath, Dick helps uncover another artifact, a critical artifact.
do me a favor, finish
Yeah,
reading it, and then we can go off on
yeah, yeah.
reading. Basically what we remember of the
So
show.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm gonna go off. I just don't know what episodes I'm gonna be talking
So the
about.
Black Spot and Winterfire, they pretty much go and coexist to each other. So Winterfire is a destined fog engulfs the town, and General Saul pushes ahead with his mission. The Howlands, Rose, Dick, and the kids must work together to save Derry. Um, I think episode 7 is when everyone was in that party hut that they made for the black soldiers and stuff like that, and they were having a party and stuff like that, and that's when the military attacked because they had one of the black pieces. This is also where you get the death of Ricky, which was sad. Richie, which was a really sad moment because it kind of ended the show in a sad moment. It pretty much he saved the girl. He put her the girl with the glasses that got her eye pretty much she cut her eye off. I think the episode before it. Um,
Poor Ricky.
he put her in the a trunk and saved her from the fire. So that's pretty much where that went. And then it goes into the final thing, which is like a big snow garf, and uh, Pennywise grows wings and attacking everything, and it goes
Listen,
into a crazy
that whole
stat.
last episode deserves its own
Yeah, yeah,
conversation. But what I really want to dive into
yeah,
at this moment in time is Dick Halloran,
yeah,
how in tuned he is, and how much like he poked back at it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I wanted you to read off, everything
yeah,
so
yeah,
we can get through the episode, and then we can
yeah, yeah.
really, because now we know Dick Halloran. You've seen The Shining,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he's an old man now. He dies ultimately in the Overlook, right? This is a guy that's kind of haunted by his ability.
Yeah. He
You know what I
becomes an
mean?
alcoholic because of it too.
Yeah, yeah. He's being used by this military
Yeah,
guy. Um, he has no real questions or answers or even understanding of what the fuck he's actually going after.
yeah,
But he pokes the bear.
yes,
He to the point that it real sees him
yeah,
coming at him from afar like, what are you? He didn't even say who are you. He
yeah,
said what are you? Like it I think was actually scared of him.
yeah,
You know what I mean? To the point where he kind of it used his own shining against him.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because he manipulated its world.
yeah,
And it didn't even realize that, well, I should say Pennywise.
yeah,
He fucked with Pennywise's psyche.
yeah,
That was one of the dopest things that I've ever seen.
yeah,
Like, cinematically wise, to a creature that you don't have an understanding of. It just shows the power of this character and the genius of the actual writing in the show.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like he's trying to figure everything out, but he's only as good as his senses. So it realized that he has this ability, and he was like, "What is he afraid of?"
yeah,
You know what I mean? It starts haunting his ass. You know what I mean? Ultimately, leads to him almost putting a bullet in his brain, and then Hannon comes in, saves him.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I think I like the military aspect of it. I don't like the reason why they're there.
No, 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 I got you.
That shit is so stupid. Oh, we're gonna control America. Like in all reality, it's like they were using the story was we're gonna use this to get at our enemies. Like no, the general was trying to use it to control
Yeah,
the country.
yes,
It's fucked up. It's
yeah,
it's it's not cool at all.
nope,
You know what I mean? And they were manipulating these people who had nothing to do with anything. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
the you were talking of the episode with the fire.
yeah,
The episode with the fire, it's hit or miss with me with that episode because I didn't like the filming of the inside of the actual fire. It's this really small enclosed
yeah,
place, and they made it seem like it's this really big,
yeah.
smoked out, fired, people running and this and that. Like no,
No, it was a small little
it's like
base.
it's like the scene with the kids in the cemetery.
Yeah,
Like that was not necessarily. It's kind of overdrawn and over dramatic.
yeah,
Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not trying to take away from the fire, but the severity of the situation where the town folk came to fucking kill this fucking guy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Who is being manipulated by this sheriff, who is the grandfather of Eddie Bowers.
yeah.
Uh, from the It movies.
Yeah, yeah,
If you guys have to see the It movies
yeah,
to
yeah,
even understand what we're talking about. But it's a perfect tie-in for him. It's tie-in to other people. Like the girl that cuts her eye off is the mother of the kid, and It even mentions it.
yeah,
Hey, your son kills me in the fucking future. You know what I mean? Because he's
yeah,
timeless.
yeah.
It's crazy, but that scene was really dramatic because one, it's fucking racist as fuck.
Yeah,
It truly is, and in a time of nowadays where I think we should tread carefully. Like that was a kind of a bold move.
yeah.
You know what I mean? There's too much going on in the world to kind of showcase that in a
But
show. But
we are in a like you're in the time frame of when that was. People are more in tune of what happened during that time. So it's not something that did not happen.
yeah, well,
So like if
and
you're showing it in a nowadays kind of thing, then it kind of goes into that level of things. But the fact that it's a history and there is history of that
yeah,
bullshit,
100%.
it makes sense within that
We're not
time
gonna
frame.
pretend that that shit
Yeah,
didn't happen, type of
it
thing.
makes sense in that time frame.
And
Not that it's good, but it makes
the
sense in that
sheriff
time frame.
didn't even necessarily want that shit to begin with, but he
Yeah,
just lost his job and lost the respect of his townfolk.
yeah,
So he kind of showed up and showed out and fucking just
yeah.
murdered and massacred a whole bunch of people. Which the kids shouldn't have been there to begin with. That's when we lost little
No,
Ricky,
Ricky.
and
R.P. Ricky.
you know what I mean. That was a dramatic thing.
He was a sweet kid.
But
He saved her life.
you know what I mean. Like there's a lot of different dialogue, a lot of different characters that make this show really good. But my favorite is the kids.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, and that's what makes the It stories. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
the Tim Curry, the movies that pertain to this universe. It's the camaraderie between the kids that ultimately save them.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like we're better together than we are apart.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And they're kind of, the island of misfit toys. They're from different walks of life, and they should have never been together to
yeah.
begin with.
But then it means a lot more when they actually are together.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
and anybody that ever talks about the show with me, um, I constantly always go to the fact of the original It movie with Tim Curry. The second part, when they go back into the tunnels, two of them are dead,
yeah,
but they have these earrings,
yeah,
these silver earrings, mother's earrings, as they put it in the movie, and it represented each of the two that passed away. So
yeah,
it's like we're all here now.
yeah.
So leading into the season finale of this, which was probably one of the best film things I've seen in a
I would
long
say
time.
probably one of the best finales that I've seen in a long time.
It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
It
they did a great job. Like it ended a way that you're like, what the
Holy like
fuck?
I swear to you, I think my mouth was
Yeah,
opened like the entire episode. It was very dramatic. It showed the floating, like
yeah,
when he deadlights an entire town.
yeah.
And he's basically the Pied Piper.
Mhm,
Do 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 do, play
mhm.
bring him into the woods to drown him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's what he does. You know, and it takes the few adults that aren't fucking brainwashed. It takes this group of kids in order to stop him, but ultimately leads to this one moment where they're trying to put this thing into the ground. This is the whole
yeah,
reason why I'm talking about the
yeah,
earrings
yeah,
from the first one, which is probably one of the best and sad fucking moments
yeah,
like in this fucking show. They couldn't get the fucking thing down.
yeah,
But you see off in the distance, you see the indigenous
yeah,
woman, and then you see this little figure running like
yeah,
she's like, "Go ahead, go." And you see little Ricky, right? His name's Ricky,
yeah.
Ricky Ricardo, whatever the fuck it
Richie,
was.
Richie.
Richie, little Cuban boy. You know what I mean? Running by in the soul world, and then it took his extra hand
Yeah,
to push it in.
I cheer for
Yes, it was
that.
amazing. It gets me choked up, but it is a great tie-in to the other movie because they weren't able to get it done without the other two because they
Yeah,
weren't there. but they represented them by the earrings.
Yeah, yeah.
By him doing that into the soul world and pushing it down, that was the extra oomph that it needed. But him sliding by, flicking off fucking. Come on, bro. That should be a meme. Like, that should be a meme out there. That whole. That scene was dramatic. It was horrific.
Yeah.
That Bill Skarsgård deserves a fucking. He deserves, just in that scene alone, of
Yeah.
him trying to get to the kids because he
Yeah.
got frozen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I forget exactly what they did, but they froze him where
Yeah, yeah.
he's in attack mode, and he's just frozen in space.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? It's just like the general comes at him like, yeah, gotcha, you motherfucker, type
Yeah,
of
yeah.
thing. And then he tries to control him, and then eventually, he breaks out of it and kills the fucking general. But like the way he tried to fight to get to them,
Yeah.
oh, that shit was gangster, bro.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
good.
it was just visually beautiful. It was dramatic. Definition of horror, definition of fucking tearjerkers. That shit played on my heartstrings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I wish I got to watch it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before doing this cast, but
I think you did a good job in
I'm just
explaining.
going off of what I remember because
Yeah.
I absorbed a lot of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's hard to pinpoint what actually happened in each episode.
Yeah.
It kind of all blends together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I kind of wish I did. Maybe in the future when it comes to actual shows, I'll kind of write more notes. We
Yeah.
should write more notes into
Yeah,
it
yeah.
instead of like a freestyle kind of feel. But the show's amazing. It's good. There's certain things that piss me off, certain things that weren't necessary. I love the whole the stalking of the kids, like the the grocery store scene.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I thought that was cool, but like him in a jar was
Yeah,
like stupid.
yeah.
Like the father in a jar, it's dumb. But I like the hints of
Yeah.
it, like basically stalking hits prey. I
Yeah.
loved Dick Halloran. I love the interaction with him and getting a younger version of Dick Halloran from The Shining. You know what I mean? Like we ultimately see where he leads,
Yeah.
where to the point that he almost killed himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like divine intervention.
Yes.
Like he was meant to ultimately lead up to the Overlook Hotel
Yeah.
to save Danny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's beautiful, it's tragic, it's a whole bunch of things. I thought the theme song
It was
was
good.
haunting as
Yeah,
hell,
it
but
was good.
catchy as
Yeah.
fuck. You know what I mean? Like the whole, like
Yeah.
it's nonchalant,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Pleasantville.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it fit well for the time. The tie-in with the girl cutting off her eye being the mother of the kid that kills him,
Yeah.
and the acknowledgement of time is not relevant when it comes to Pennywise.
Yeah.
So like he literally told her like, "Yo, your son is the one that's going to kill me later in life." The fact that he even knew that,
Yeah.
so he's just on a loop.
Yeah.
He never actually really dies.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if they do come out with another season, it'll be the settlers' time
Okay.
because it would be 28 years before the 50s. It would be
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the 30s, stuff like that, maybe Prohibition era
Yeah, yeah,
type of feel where you have another generation that either got massacred
yeah.
because he feeds.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we've only had two instances where they stopped him. We got him in the 50s, we got him in the 80s.
Yeah.
So, but he's been doing this from time and time again.
Yeah. So we don't know. They did get signed for a second season.
That's awesome to hear.
So
I like that.
we don't know where that second season is gonna be, but what they're gonna do with that. But it is gonna get a second season.
That's good. I like that.
Um, review. So 1 out of 5. What do you give it?
I'll give it a 4.
4?
I'll give it a 4. There is the bike ride through the woods. I mean, through the cemetery is stupid. I understand it kind of messing with them, but like the constant pedaling, they didn't go that far into the cemetery to be pedaling fucking forever.
Yeah.
The scene in the with the fire, it was dramatic. Don't get me wrong, and I don't condone in anything that scene happened, but that place seems so much bigger from the inside than the outside. It was a little hangar. It wasn't
Yeah.
that big. They made it seem like it was a fucking gymnasium, you know. I didn't like I hated the fact that the general thought that he could control it, but I guess for story purposes works.
You need a villain.
I mean, he wasn't a villain until he was the villain,
There you go.
because he gave everybody everything that they wanted
Yeah.
up
And
until
then he
that
was
point
like,
in
I
time.
just want to use it as a puppet though.
Exactly. But
Um,
I'll give it. Well, damn.
I'm gonna go 4.25.
Yeah, I'm cool at 4. I'm
I'm
cool at
I'm
4.
going with 4.25 because I appreciate the acting. I think the kids were great, and usually I hate kids actors, but I thought they were great. I thought everyone played it rise, and Skarsgård was fucking great as Pennywise.
Yeah,
Like you cannot deny
even
him.
when he played like the real
Yeah, yeah,
Pennywise,
yeah.
like it was night and day
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah, I thought.
He wasn't it. He
Yeah,
was the drunk
yeah, yeah,
carny,
yeah,
and which was really good. Which I thoroughly enjoyed that episode
yeah.
and was wowed by that.
I liked how they told that story, and I like how why he took the clown as the thing and everything
And
like
it
that.
manipulated the daughter
Exactly.
to do
Yeah.
what and to tie in the future movies. What it did to to Pennywise's daughter
Yeah.
is what he did to Henry Bowers later,
Yeah.
where he manipulated him to go after the kids
Yeah.
because of, hey, they got away from you.
Yeah.
Hey, they embarrassed you.
Yeah.
Hey, they fucked with you. They did this to you. They
Yeah.
did that to you. He chose this girl because of her attachment to her father,
Yeah.
because he just only took the likeness, the avatar of him,
Yeah.
and she was the one that was like, "You're my dad,"
Yeah. Yeah.
type of thing, and he was like, "That's genius. Let me use this against her." Where fucking 30 years later, she's killing people for him,
Yes.
which is really good. And then she also ultimately ends up Mrs. Kirsch
Yes.
in the fucking movie, which was a beautiful tie-in. That was great writing. They had to have sat down for a very long time and found the ways to tie in all these universes.
Yeah.
Like this was on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great show. Again, HBO Max. If you want to watch it, it's on there. But I think we're gonna bid adieu, and
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna
think
end this cast.
we took up enough of your time.
We'll wrap this up. This is the Book Club, TV and movie podcast. Thank you for listening. We will have other episodes coming up. We gotta pick our next episode, and there's a movie I want you to check out. Because we talked about anime, is probably one of my favorite animated movies. Is by Miyazaki. It is called what is it called? Fuck, I just had it in my head. Um, Howl's Moving Castle.
Howl's Moving Castle.
Yes.
All right. So that will be our next cast.
It'd be a Howl's Moving Castle. That is actually one of Jackie's favorite animes as
Okay.
well.
Well, we're establishing a wheel,
Yes.
and we're going to have three constants on the wheel, while the other notches of the wheel evolves
Yes.
and constantly changes and stuff like that. But we will always have a anime option. We'll always have a monster
Yeah.
option of any generation of monsters, which probably from the dawn of cinema,
Yeah.
monsters is being told. So I feel like that was a good choice. And the other one was I forget the other
Kung
one.
Fu.
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu.
Yes, because I always wanted to dive into the Kung Fu movies. And if you do listen
Yeah.
to our the Morphin Cast, we have no problem watching subtitle movies,
Yeah.
shows, and stuff like that. So a lot of them pertain to
Yes.
Japanese, Chinese culture, which we have no problem reading subtitles.
So yeah, Howl's Moving Castle will be our movie that we review. That'll be the next one. It's on Disney Plus, I think, or it's on HBO Max. It's on one. It's Miyazaki Films. He's known for his animated movies. He has done My Name Is Toto. He done Kiki's Delivery Service. He done Cradle Grave of the Fireflies, which is probably the most depressing movie I've ever seen in my life. That shit will make you fucking cry. I was gonna pick that one, but I was like, you know what? I'm not in the mood to cry because that shit.
I'm
It's
not in
like
the mood to
that.
cry today.
He did Castle in the Sky. He done a lot of Academy Award like nominated movies and stuff like that are anime. This one is a taste of that kind of film. So they'll probably give you a Disney vibe. It'll probably give you like an adventure vibe kind of thing.
As
And
long as it's good, man,
it's a
because I
great
have no
movie.
problem bashing this shit. For everybody out there, I'm not an anime watcher. I don't watch
I
anime.
don't think I think it has a good story, and I think you will like the movie.
The only anime that I've actually watched from beginning to end is Death Note,
Yeah.
and that's it. I've watched 2 seasons of Attack on Titan, and that's it. I'm not an anime person. I'm not an animated
What makes it
person.
what makes it easy is it's a movie.
Okay.
It's one.
Quick,
Yeah.
easy.
Done.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know that this cast is a work in progress. We're just starting this up now. Bear with us. We will be working out the kinks furthermore to give you guys a better product. So bear with us. This is only episode 2 of the book club, and I appreciate everybody that's tuning in.
Yes, yes.
Please check out our other podcasts of the Morphin Cast, of a Not a Trekkie podcast, of Shell Shock, the weekly It Gets Better I Swear podcast, and the Wrestling Babble. Uh, Check out the Merc with the Mic on his socials.
I'll put Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, Twitch, and TikTok. All Mark the Mic. Also follow Red Cyclone Link on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and WordPress. Also follow Tenacious T.
Yeah, follow me at the Real Tots Guwap, which is also a side name of mine, but for this purposes, it's Tenacious T. Check me out at the Real Tots Guwap at Instagram, and also the Real Tots Guwap on Twitter. Trying to be more active, try to be more proactive in promoting this podcast and our other podcasts, which is all under the blanket of Red Cyclone Inc.,
Yes.
which I'm generally honored to be a part of. We've been doing this for a long time, and it's about time that we've branched off into this pocketed universe
Yes.
of televisions and movies.
So I hope you enjoyed this cast, and again, we'll be back for Howl's Moving Castle and further all of the book club. Our first book club podcast should be up sometime next week, so stay tuned for that as well.
Always a shouts out to Game On, retro video game store based out on Long Island in 2 separate locations, one in Miller Place, one in Smithtown, satisfying all your retro video game needs. Also, go and check out Game On Retro Video Game Arcade, located in Smith Haven Mall, Lake Grove, and Tanger Outlet, Riverhead. We will be there March 7th for Tomapalooza, the 40th edition of Tomapalooza, the last and only. If you guys want to go there and hang out with me on my birthday, you're more than welcome. Turning 40, life's over afterwards.
Yep, yep. Peace out, laters, and thanks for listening.
Yeah, fuck Zordon.
Yeah, fuck Zordon.